Okay, so now I'm recording. So we just start with the circle, and with whatever you can, just find something round, put your circle on your paper, and then across on the circle. So we're going to use 5-point perspective. So this is going to be one, this is going to be another, and this is going to be another. And then the one on the top of the circle and on the bottom of the circle are exclusively for our lines going up and down. So if you forget about this, like let's say we're not using these 2 points, we're going to consider this like a 2-point perspective. So imagine you're drawing in 2-point perspective. Let me do this in a new layer, I guess. If you were doing a 2-point perspective, this would be your 2 points. Okay, so this is my 2-point perspective. I'm drawing, my lines are going back into space to these 2 points. I just start with the corner. I start with the corner of the box. The lines that are going back in space are going back to my 1 point and the one side, and the other one on the other side. And this is how we've been drawing till now, right? So that'll be a 2-point perspective, right? So if you remember that and you do the same on this other side, you will be fine. Sorry, somebody has a question? I can't see. Okay, so now we have 2-point perspective on each side of the sphere. So 2-point perspective here, 2-point perspective here. The trick is going to be that our line that is the corner of the box, it usually used to be straight. Or in 3-point perspective, it was on an angle, right? We had this type of thing on 3-point perspective, where we had a 3rd point on the bottom. On 5-point perspective, our lines are going to go around the sphere. So this, we're going to follow the sphere. So I suggest you grab a light pen of a different color and draw the lines that go up and down the sphere. So how are you going to do that? So you start with your sphere like this, and then you're going to try to draw the lines that go up and down on the sphere with following the curve of it and going flatter towards the middle. So if I was drawing a line close towards the middle, I would go a little bit flatter. This would be my higher point on the middle, and then try to make it to the other line and top. And this is going to be tough. I mean, there's no other way around it. It's just hand drawn, so it's just going to depend on your pulse here. So you get curvier as you go to the outside. Just do your best here. Eventually you start drawing perspective without noticing, by freehanding it. You don't need a ruler or anything. You can approximate things. And let's try the other side. So if it's easier for you, just rotate your paper, I guess, like flip your page over. I think that's easier for me, and I think it's easier to go, instead of from the bottom up, it's easier from the top down. Yeah, that's easier. So it's not going to be perfect, just do your best. So this is going to be the grid we're going to use. Oops, flatter in there. So I know it's not perfect, that's fine. So you go flat towards the middle and start curving towards the outside. So let's say this is what I come up with. So now that I have this sphere with lines on it, you know, you can make the lines horizontal that way too, but we're gonna keep it simple. If you want to challenge yourself, go ahead and draw the other lines like this, you know, from side to side. I'm not gonna require it. I'm just gonna ask you to at least the top and down lines, the up and down lines are curved. It will work either way. So now you start like you've always started with your perspective drawing. So you start with the corner of the box. Let me just grab a black pen here, make this straight. You start with the corner of the box, so kind of trying to follow that curve, and then your lines that are going back in space are going to go to this point, so to this point and to this point, okay, like this. So if I now go finish my box, it's gonna look something like this and like this. You know, this line on the bottom will continue right here, and there's my 5-point perspective. So it's the same thing that if you were drawing 2-point perspective. The only difference is that your lines that are going up and down are curved now. They're following the sphere. So if I'm drawing this box, you know, I think the line got a little flat here at the bottom. There's the corner of the box. Then the lines that are going back in space on the box would go to this point on the middle, like that. And then follow the curve up and down of the sphere. So, and in here, if this line is going back in space, same deal. Then this line that's going back in space is going to this point over here, so something like this. So same on the top, it's going to that point. So you're just trying to follow the curve of the sphere the best you can. You know, it's not going to be perfect. I just want you to do your best. So with this drawing, you'll have to freehand it. You know, you can do the circle. You can do the circle with an object. Your lines on the middle and on from the horizon line can be with a ruler, I guess. But the other lines, you most likely will have to freehand them. Like I mentioned, eventually you have to start freehanding all your perspective. You know, all the perspective starts being drawn by freehand. So you're gonna have to add at least 7 items. You know, if you can make it something interesting, I think it'd be best. If you want to challenge yourself, you can make this lines curved too, you know, but I think that's way too hard, especially when you're starting to draw. You have to remember this is a intro to drawing class, so I'm not gonna ask you to do that. I think if you do those lines straight, the ones that are going to this point, you know, if they're straight, that's fine. It'll still preserve the illusion. So what you draw is completely up to you. I don't know, you can draw the front of your house, a strip with buildings, you know, those examples I was showing you. A lot of people draws buildings, you know, because usually you start with a box, but anything you can put inside of a box, you can put on your drawing. It doesn't matter. But yeah, there's artists that draw always like this. But you could, let's say you draw, I don't know, you could draw yourself looking out of the peephole on a hotel, and here's a hallway, you know, so the corners of the box of the hallway are going in this curved direction. The hallway going to the sides is going to go to these points in here. Like that. Maybe the hallway, there's another hallway here in the middle. You can draw doors on the hallway. I don't know, anything you want, you know, as whatever your imagination tells you to draw. I have a lot of my students really enjoy drawing this perspective drawing, because they can show it to your friend. You can show it to your friends, and you know, most of my students said, my friends said they never seen a drawing like this. It's really cool how you do it. You know, so it's something you should be proud of when you're done with it. So I hope you can enjoy it. You know, it's a little tricky at first, you know, to get used to. Okay, all my lines are going up and down curved now, but the rest of the lines that are going back in space is basically the same than 2-point perspective. There's no difference with it. The only difference is that the lines that are going up and down are curved. So let's say this is the peephole on your hotel room. There's lights in here on the ceiling, and you know, this lines are going back down here. And lights over here. So there's a cart here with food. I don't know. I'm just whatever comes to mind. I'm just trying. So anything you can start with a box. So I could draw a box here. That's my corner of my box. The lines now go to the perspective point. So there's my box. Now this box could be a food cart, I guess. Now with its trays. And the wheels here. And they could be the food service guy looking into the door, I guess. So there's more doors here. So let's say he's inside here. So I could draw a box. I could draw a box and, you know, kind of inside the box put the head. You know, if you draw boxes, you know, you have this box would be flat in front of you. Then the back of it goes towards the vanishing point. This could be the shoulders here. So anything you can put inside of a box can turn into something else. So this could be a person here. Going room service. I guess I drew him too low. He must be a short guy. Yeah. Yes, go ahead. You have a question? Somebody had a question? Okay, if you are you really afraid now of doing this drawing? I hope you're not. It should be interesting to try at least, you know. From your intro to drawing class, you know. I know it's an intro only, but you'll be happy to try something different. You probably never done a drawing like this, and it's a great time to try it, you know. So anybody worried about this, or do you have any concerns? Can I do it? Can I not do it? You guys are awfully quiet.
Watching you draw.
So yeah, so the only difference, lines are going up and down, go to this points on the top and on the bottom. How do you get those lines? You start with the circle first. Let's see. So you start with the circle first. Oh, did I draw my... I did. Dang it. You start with the circle. You do the cross, and then you treat each side as a 2-point perspective. So this and this is 2-point perspective. This and this again is 2-point perspective. So it's just like you were doing your typical 2-point perspective. You start with the corner of the box, then the lines are going back, go to the point on the one side, and the lines on the other side go to the other side, to the other point. So this is basically the same. The only thing you have to change is this line that is going up and down. Same with this one. So if you think about it, the only thing that's changing is that this line is curved now. This line's, you know, and are curved to follow the sphere. So before you draw any boxes on your sphere, put these lines on. Is that the ones? No. Nope. This lines. So draw the sphere first, and your lines are going up and down. If you're feeling brave and confident, go ahead and try to make your other lines curved too. Like the lines are going back in space. But that gets super tricky, you know, with which line is curved, which line is straight. But if you feel confident, go ahead and try it. Because that would make this line's curved, you know. This line would probably still be straight, but the line on the outside gets curved. So, yeah, any questions about this? You guys have any questions? No, I saw that some assignments due dates were wrong, and I did fix them. Sorry about that if you were scared for your life because some assignments were due on the 2nd.
My point perspective was already due, so I was a bit worried about that.
Yeah, Yeah, if you missed last class, that's what we talk about. It was only 3-point perspective that was gonna be due today, actually.
Yeah.
Today. So if you came to last class and you heard that, great for you. Sorry if you were not here last time. But yeah, that's all. It's not really rocket science, you know. It's just remembering what lines goes where. So up and down line goes to curve to the top and bottom. Lines going back in space. At least the ones on the center point, on this point, those you can keep them straight. If you feel like brave and you want to do the outside curve of the lines too, you can. You would just have to do the grid the other way. So you know, you put your paper on the side and draw some guides for yourself on, you know, if you can manage. There we go. It's not my best. So now the lines on the outside point of the perspective are going to be curved. So let me show you. So let's say I'm drawing, I want to put a box here on this is the corner of my box. So the line that's going to this center vanishing point is still gonna be straight. But if the line is going to this point on the outside, you can make it curve now if you want to. You know? So, and as you go out to the side, you know, that will kind of make more sense. So I'm all the way out here with a box. I want to make a box out here. So my line up and down is really curved. Now my line on the outside of the perspective that's going back in space is really curved. And the line on the inside is still going to this point and it's just going straight. So it makes a little more sense. So there we go. So if you do it this way, it'll be a little more challenging, but it'll make sense to you. If you can't do that, just go ahead and make both sides straight, you know, it's fine. As long as you have your up and down lines curved, you'll be fine. Any questions about this, you guys? You think you can do it?
Now that you've explained it, it seems easier.
Sorry?
Now that you've explained it, it seems easier.
Yeah. So if you see a finished drawing, it's like, how in the world did you do that?
Yeah.
That's what your friends are going to say. You're gonna show them your drawing, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, you are so awesome," and you're gonna say, "I know." You're gonna say, "I know I'm awesome," right? So, so yeah, just make it something you want to draw, and buildings are easy, you know, and they're boxes. You just have to put the lines on it, you know. And you just follow the same rules. If the lines are going up and down, they follow the curve of the sphere. If they're going back in space, they go to the 2 points. So this is your all horizon line right here on the middle. This is your all horizon line. This is the center of your sphere, basically. these are just curved vanishing points, I guess. And if you want to curve the lines on the outside of your box, yeah, just draw your guides first. You know, these lines like this on the top and bottom. Whoops, that was really bad. Draw those lines first, and then the outside of your box is gonna be curved, but not the inside. So the line, this outside of your box would be curved, but not the inside, because the inside lines are going to the vanishing point on the center of the sphere. Okay, so this is my corner of my box. The lines on the inside of the box that are going to the center of the sphere are straight, but the lines on the outside are going to this point and they're curved. If I want to make them curved, you know, if you want to make them straight, that's fine too. So there it is. That's all there is to it. I don't know where that music's coming from. Okay. Any questions about this?
You might have said this, sorry, but how many objects do we need?
What did I put? 7. Yes, 7. 7.
Okay, thank you.
7 items. 7 items at least, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I forgot? I had examples from previous students, their drawings, and I forgot to bring them to download them today. I'm sorry. You know, I think I can email you some examples of what previous students had done. They all really like this drawing just because it's so different than anything you normally draw. So yeah, the rules are the same. You just have 2 vanishing points if you're drawing on one side of the sphere, this one and this one, or this one and this one, just like 2-point perspective. So if you cover one half of the sphere so you don't see it, you know, you have 2-point perspective. But that's all there is to it. Anybody having problems with their 3-point perspective that is due today? That wants to confess? I will not get mad at you, I promise. If you have problems with 3-point perspective.
I'm getting tired of drawing skyscraper windows.
You're getting tired of perspective, Trevor?
Just of drawing windows and skyscrapers.
Oh, windows and skyscrapers.
So many lines.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the last one we'll do. Then we'll move on to something else.
Hey, Robinson,
Yeah.
is it possible for you to kind of let us know what our final is going to be like?
Yes, and I'll talk to you about it next time actually, because
Okay.
I was given the option before to students to do something out of their imagination, something they always wanted to draw, or copy an artist. I think the best thing to do nowadays is to copy an artist, which is tough, you know, when you're copying somebody that draws really good. You realize how much work it went into the drawing. So I guess I can tell you now. We just add something different to the picture. So on last year's we've been picking classic artists like from the 1700s or 1800s, you know, classic art, not new. And you put something on it that is not from the period. So let's say you pick the Mona Lisa and you put she's I don't know, she has a computer, or she's watching at, you know, he's playing Xbox or something, you know. something that's not from the time, and you have to match the lighting and the perspective.
Oh.
So, you do your drawing, you match the artist, you copy it, you copy the lights and shadows, and then you put an object that's not from the time, and you try to match the perspective. The perspective is not that hard to match. You just have to find the horizon line they use and the vanishing points. What's hard usually is the lighting, because the masters of that time, had so much practice with it. That's all they practice, is like lighting and how to make the contrast be good so the picture look nice. So you have to do the same thing for your drawing and for the object you're adding to it. So that's basically what the final is about.
Yep.
So if
Do
you
we have any portfolio assignments that we have to do?
you have to upload at least 2 pictures to your ePortfolio. So I haven't mentioned it yet, but yeah, you do, because this is a generals class. You do have to upload something to your ePortfolio from the school.
Okay.
You can upload your 2 favorite pictures. I'm not going to tell you which pictures to upload. Just pick the 2 you like the most, and you put them on your ePortfolio and talk about what you learn with that drawing, or why you like it, or what you like about the class. So it's fairly simple, it's just one of those things that I require, like reading, because it's a generals class. I think since you guys are not art majors, I hope art is just your out. I'm gonna draw for a minute so I can relax, instead of being something a chore. So that's why I try to keep it simple, since you guys are just non-major art. So just keep it simple. Just upload your favorite pictures that you did this semester. You put a comment like what you learned in the class, or what you like about your drawing, and then you send me the link, and I'll count that as your ePortfolio submission.
Okay.
Yeah, so fairly simple. Anything else? Any other questions?
Are you gonna take roll?
Yeah, that'd be good, huh? That'd be good. Take roll. Let's see. Yeah, before you guys taking off, let me make the roll here. So I'm also going to stop the recording, I guess.